but mistakes that will be made with a young basketball team, and they will have to learn from it and move on and try to gain the experience. Doug is assisted by Brian James, Larry Drew, Johnny Bach, and the Wizards trainer is Steve Stricker. The Orlando Magic have a record of 31 wins and 30 losses. They're 17-10 here at home and 14-20 on the road. Tracy McGrady gets the start of the backcourt with Darrell Armstrong. Armstrong leading the team this season in assists and almost 2 steals per game. And in the front court for the Magic, a very formidable one indeed. The second-year star Mike Miller with Pat Garrity, and Horace Grant, who did not play in their last game at Boston with back spasms, has been listed as day-to-day, but Horace inserted into the starting lineup here for Orlando tonight. Their head coach in his 3rd season is Glenn Doc Rivers, 40 years old. He signed a contract extension through the 2004-2005 season. And 2 years ago, Doc named the NBA Coach of the Year, the 5th rookie coach ever to win the award. Let's take a look at the Jim Coleman keys to the game, Phil Chenier.
Well, for the Wizards, they've got to do something with McGrady and Miller. Both players 6'8", each strong inside and outside and possess a lot of quickness. In fact, McGrady has been unstoppable in the 2 games against Washington. But Washington wants to run, but their transition game, they have to know when to run. They can't get out and run before they get possession. So rebounding is going to be important there, too. For the Magic, defense is going to be important for them as well. They have had problems. Their last 4 opponents have averaged over 114 points, each shooting over 50%. Washington being one of those teams getting 107 points. That being said, the Magic are happy to be back. Their assist game is going to be extremely important. They're 25-2 when they have more assists than their opponents. Miller, McGrady, their size and their quickness, the matchups there can create opportunities for others, and also the quickness of Armstrong and Hudson. But it'll be a battle of the wills. Washington has to come out here determined and sustain their play throughout the game.
Here are your officials, Danny Crawford with James Capers and Dee Kantner. 4th of 4 meetings between the two. The Magic won the first on December 1st at MCI Center 96-87, but the Wiz have won the last 2, including the overtime victory. Now the the starting lineup has changed again for Washington, and it is not Tyrone Nesby in. It is in fact Courtney Alexander starting in the backcourt with Chris Whitney, and up front Hamilton Leitner and Popeye Jones. So they go back to what they thought they were going to have originally, and those are your 5 starters for the Wizards. Steve Buckhatz, Phil Chenier, and our Comcast Sportsnet crew here tonight as Washington looks to get the win as Popeye misses and Garrity is there for the rebound. Orlando coming off, by their own admission, an embarrassing 130-110 loss to the Celtics in Boston on Wednesday. Their 4th loss in a row, and they were just blown out of that game. Armstrong, you can't give him an open look at the basket, but Grant has the rebound. Here's Miller, drives all the way and slams.
Well, the game that they really were upset about is actually that game Sunday back in Washington. They felt that they had an opportunity to win that particular game there, and it got away from them. Washington winning that one in overtime, especially when you consider that both Jordan and Richard Hamilton weren't there. They thought that one got away from them. That
would have given them 3 victories on their road trip. And Doc Rivers said that would have been okay with him. But as you said, Phil, that really hurt to lose to the Wizards, and they wound up 2-5 on the 7-game trip. And a 2-pointer gives them a 4-0 lead.
We've seen 2 mistakes already. You had Miller go down the middle for an easy dunk, and then transition. They don't do a good job in getting back. Remember, they've got to play this game intense. Smart, but intense. Good
Leitner
shot.
drives and scores. Christian Leitner averaging 7.6 points and 5.5 rebounds a game for Washington. McGrady pulls up for the jumper. That's a little short. The 2 Wizards are there. Alexander off the hands of McGrady. The last time these 2 teams played, which was Sunday, Doug Collins elected not to use Jahidi White at all in the game, even though Jahidi was healthy enough to play.
Well, here's Miller going down the middle for the dunk. Uncontested, I might add. Nice shot from Richard Hamilton.
On a good feed, and we are tied at 4.
Going back to that lineup change, you're right, because again, they have all these guys 6'8", they can shoot from the outside and are very mobile. So you know, they don't have a real strong post-up player. Even Horace Grant is going to shoot the short jumper.
McGrady is hacked by Alexander. That's number 1 on Courtney. And Orlando.
Well, the key to this matchup here is you're going to try and fight him from getting that kind of inside position. Once he establishes that kind of spotting on the court, you're forced to do just what you saw Courtney do.
McGrady, a 77% free throw shooter.
He shoots his free throws well. However, he missed some key free throws in that overtime period. In fact, he missed 3 in that period. Had kind of an unusual game. He missed all 9 of his field goal attempts in the first half and only had 5 points, but of course finished the game with 30. He really took over in the 3rd and 4th quarters.
And had 9 assists in that contest as well. Makes them both.
A triple-double, in fact. Yeah.
Hamilton springs free, now goes back to Whitney. Bounce pass over the corner to Alexander. Popeye Jones looking inside for Leitner. Christian, nice move, gets the ball slapped away and stolen.
Good hands from McGrady there. Well, you had to know that this team was going to come fired out. Darrell Armstrong, really the general out here on the floor, and he really is the player that gets his team fired up. And you see him pressuring Whitney all over the court.
Largest lead of the game for Orlando, 5 points. Very physical inside and off the foot of Armstrong to Washington with 10 on the shot clock. Find Leitner on the inbound. Whitney pulls the trigger, long jumper, too strong. McGrady is there. Tracy McGrady spots up again, and he's got another long-range jumper. He's 7th in the league in scoring at 24.6 points a game.
Yeah, that was a 3-pointer there, and I tell you, he's this whole team is certainly happy to be back home. We can't emphasize that enough, and Washington has yet to get their first offensive rebound.
Wizards are in a similar situation. Have just the 1 game to play at home against Boston on Monday, and then they're off for 7 consecutive games on the road. In the meantime, the Magic have opened up a 10-point lead. Popeye Jones.
Well, you can see how aggressively their defenders are coming out, contesting shots and pick and rolls. They're very aggressive and jumping out at the shooters.
Up ahead to Hamilton with no numbers. Richard decides to go one-on-one and scores. Pretty move by Rip Hamilton. He did not play the last time these two teams met. He was out with a stomach virus on Sunday. Miller goes to the left side for Grant, who misses, and Leitner has another rebound, his 3rd. Hamilton drives and gets pushed on the baseline by Miller, his first personal. Washington ball on the side. Alexander with a season-high 32 in that game against Orlando, 1 shy of his career high. In fact, 6 players scored in double figures in that game for the Wizards. Here's Leitner for the open jump shot. And there's your offensive rebound.
You need some of those.
Alexander inside for Hamilton. Nice pass, Rip into the lane. Fakes, got hit, no call, tip up, no, and it's taken by Orlando. Now they switch off, Jones covering McGrady. Tracy inside, draws the foul, and he scores. Popeye is really upset with D. Cantler.
Well, I thought they should have called the first foul. I think it was Hamilton from the other side, got him on the arm, and then he traveled. Watch Hamilton come to the pitch. He reaches there, slows him down. Well, that's a travel at that point, but there was contact from Hamilton. Again, you see him slow him down. But the continuation will count. Popeye picks up the foul.
And the free throw missed by Tracy. And Orlando on a 12-2 run in the last 3:20. McGrady has 12 points. Defensive 3-second infraction will give the Wizards a free shot at the line and the ball back. Magic won the first game December 1st. MCI Center 96-87. The Wizards won the last two December 21st here 93-75. And then last Sunday was 107-102 in overtime. They lead the all-time series, including 9 of the last 10 in Orlando. So prior to the Wizards win here December 21st, they hadn't beaten the Magic in Orlando since November 1st, 1996. Eight seconds. Hamilton, nice move. Fadeaway jumper, beauty.
Oh, that was a tough shot. Miller was all over him.
Miller around the screen, fakes Leitner, wanted contact, hits the jumper anyway. Mike Miller in his second year from Florida, the 5th overall pick in the draft last year by Orlando, and he has turned out to be quite a player.
That's right, last year Rookie of the Year, and following that up with another fine year, second leading scorer on this team.
Hamilton again with Miller challenging him. Rip goes all the way, lays it off to Leitner. They tumble outside and Leitner scores. And Miller is hurt. He is hurt and wincing in pain, out of bounds on the baseline, and Armstrong calls time. Hamilton and Miller collided when Rip went up and passed the ball off, and Miller got the worst of it.
Yeah, I don't know if he came down wrong on the ankle or what, but we'll see after this timeout.
5:47 to play, and the Wizards now down by 7. Here's a look at this last play, and keep your eye on the left portion of your screen for the injury to Miller.
And the left leg. Keep an eye. Rip goes by, kind of takes that leg out, it looks like, and he goes down hard.
As irony would have it, it was here on December 21st when Richard Hamilton pulled his groin and wound up missing 17 of the next 17 games.
And from that angle, you could see that that left leg landed very awkwardly. I don't know if it's a knee or ankle, but definitely the left side that was injured.
So they've carried Miller out of here. Richard Hamilton remains in the game. And the Wizards, shooting just 39%, are down by 7. 9 seconds to shoot. They've isolated Armstrong on Whitney. Beautiful pass inside. That's Monty Williams, DC zone from Potomac High School in Oxon Hill, Maryland. Monty in his 8th year from Notre Dame.
Well, we talked about the size of Miller and McGrady presenting problems, but also the quickness of Armstrong and Hunter.
Not to mention Troy Hudson, who did some damage against the Wizards the other night. Alexander misses. Popeye is pushed out of the lane by Grant, who has his 3rd rebound of the night. McGrady, nice move on Alexander, and he draws the foul. He's, as you said in the open field, just about impossible to stop once he gets in there.
Well, he's 6'8", extremely agile and quick. Look at the move there. Fakes the fadeaway and then quickly moves towards the baseline basket and using both hands equally well.
Called it on Richard Hamilton his first, and McGrady back to the free throw line where he missed his last try, and that one. Tyrone Nesby in for Courtney Alexander for the Wizards. Courtney in 7 minutes missed both field goal attempts and has a rebound with a personal foul. McGrady will be 23 in May. Misses them both. From Durham, North Carolina, where he went to high school at Mount Zion Academy. And the steal by McGrady. Tracy McGrady, in addition to his 24.5-point average and 7.5 rebounds, 5 assists, Averages 1.5 steals per game, so he's got a half to go.
Yeah.
Hamilton double pump, lays it off Whitney for the open jumper. Missed it. 5 rebounds for Grant. Largest lead of the game for Orlando, 11 points. Ron Lou up off the Washington bench. McGrady's shot will not count, and D. Cantner has a foul on Chris Whitney.
Well, here's that steal there. McGrady taking it in, has those long arms, and again, the quickness can fool you. You got to know the personnel you're going against. So Nesby making that pass, 9 times out of 10 that pass is complete, but you've got somebody as quick as McGrady, and you've got to be that much more careful.
Armstrong. Pat Garrity in for the rebound. And the lead is 13. Hamilton's short jumper no good. Nesby's there, and Tyrone scores.
Yeah, Wizard bench up off the bench because that time it looked like
Lou with a steal.
It looked like Hamilton was fouled on that play.
Nesby waits, now goes inside for the short jumper, tips his own shot up, misses. Popeye is there, he can't get it, and Grant has the rebound. How do you like that?
Yeah.
Garrity wide open.
That's something else about this team. They're not bashful about putting up threes. Only Boston attempts more three-pointers than Orlando.
14-point Magic lead, their largest of the game. Nice move, and score the goal. Richard Hamilton scores, and now Monty Williams.
Well, he came down hard on the floor, got his legs clipped as Hamilton was going up.
In the exact same spot where Mike Miller went down. Timeout with 2:51 to go in the first quarter. Tracy McGrady having a big quarter and nearing his season high for the first quarter this year, which is 17.
Well, he's 5 for 7 from the field, and it would have more than those 14 points had he made a few more of his free throws. Only 2 for 5 from the free throw line. There comes up with a big steal and an easy basket. But he's got this team off and running.
McGrady's season high is 47 at the Clippers on December 10th. And you remember earlier this year, he strained his lower back and went to Atlanta for therapy. In the first game they played against the Wizards, he wasn't around. And as you can see, getting some treatment on the back.
And from what I remember, Doc Rivers, his coach, recommended, because Doc has had a long history of back problems, and Doc recommended somebody down there. He wants to look after his young star.
Troy Hudson is in the game. Here's Monty Williams, and scores on a Tom Thomas. The Wizards have a couple of substitutes as well. Thomas and Hubert Davis are in the lineup, with Tyronn Lue, Hamilton, and Tyrone Nesby. Hamilton inside, and that is an offensive foul on Richard Hamilton.
Well, DeClerc did a good job of stepping over and closing down the middle, watching him running some motion, and you see Hamilton curling off that pick, but DeClerc right there to take the charge.
So Hamilton now with 2 personal fouls has to come out of the game with 9 points on 4 of 7 shooting, and insert Brendan Haywood into the Washington lineup. Wizards looking for a way to score, but they've given up 29 points to Orlando. Into Haywood against Garrity, lost the handle. Lue drives all the way inside Thomas, who scores, and he's fouled.
You've got to go up strong in that territory. You're always going to get some bumps and bruises.
Fouls on DeClerc, his first.
The penetration there from Tyronn Lue, and then the dish off Over to Atan, and Atan has to take that ball with 2 hands and go up strong. That's just what he does.
Atan shooting just 50% from the free throw line for the Wizards, but that one swishes through. 3-point play for Thomas, and the lead back to 10. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier. Wizards will have tomorrow off. They'll spend it in Boston, and then they'll play the Celtics 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon right here on Comcast. That's rejected, I should say, by Thomas. Monty Williams tries it again and has it swatted back, and then Garrity loses it out of bounds.
Boy, good sequence there for Atan, giving himself an old hand, and Garrity a little upset he didn't come up with that loose ball. But here's the first block by Atan. Good job there. Monty Williams comes up with it and forces another bad shot that he's forced to miss.
Former Georgetown star Patrick Ewing has entered the fray here tonight in his 17th year. Short jumper no good, and a loose ball foul on Washington.
And Atan picks up that foul. A little pushing underneath there, trying to establish position.
Magic, after all of those games on the road, 7 where they went 2-5, are back to play 9 of 16 March games at home. They're happy about that.
And you just saw Doug Collins giving some shooting tips to Nesby, telling him to follow through on that shot. That was a makeable shot that you just saw from him.
In fact, speaking of Orlando's trip, Phil, it was their franchise's longest road trip, 7 games. Fans Metro, great seats to all the sporting events in town. Find out what trains and buses will take you to your game. Visit MetroOpenSource.com and click on the ride guide. In fact, they were supposed to play 8 games on the road when the initial schedule came out, and they went to the league and they said, come on, guys, give us a break. So they canceled one of the games, basically. It was against Philadelphia.
But the most unusual part of that is that there weren't any Western Conference games. Good shot by Brendan Haywood. They were all against Eastern Conference teams, and that's very unusual to stay on the road that long in your conference.
The Magic, in fact, had the best record in February among teams in the Atlantic Division, going 8-3. But they've lost 4 in a row and need a win badly as Lou pumps one in. And the Wizards have cut the lead to 7.
I was going to say, it was Teron Lue that really had a very good shooting night the last time these teams played here, and Washington came away with a big win, and Teron had 3 3-pointers in the second half.
Hudson inside, scores. Troy Hudson, who the last time these two teams played, and comes up with a steal. Hudson had 13 in that game the other night.
And Brendan tried to make that inbounds pass a little too quickly, and Darrell Armstrong right there to pick it off.
4th turnover for the Wizards have led to 5 Orlando points. Hudson again. 5 rebounds in the game for Nesby, and Lou's shot will not count. So a big quarter for Tracy McGrady. 14 points in the period on 5 of 7 shooting. 32 points in the quarter for the Orlando team. And they lead the Wizards 32-23 after 1. Well, we look at the Verizon first quarter stats, a period where the Magic blistered the Nets at 59%.
Yeah, look at that 3-point shooting, 3 for 5 there. The only problems they had was at the free throw line, where they missed 4 attempts out of 7. Washington having 14 rebounds, 5 on the offensive board. That started to get them back into this game, but they've got to be careful. 4 turnovers. And you had 10 fast break points from Orlando, too. This is a high-energy kind of team.
They got 16 points in the paint. The Wizards had 12. Ewing, easy pass inside. And a nice play from Troy Hudson. Troy Hudson, who coming off the bench, has scored in double figures 33 times for this team, including 20 or more points 5 times. He was in double figures only 8 times the entire season last year. Atan Thomas's jumper short. Haywood gets hacked and goes to the floor hard. That was a hard foul, and Brendan will shoot 2.
They did a good job with the head fake. He got Patrick Ewing up in the air. And he and excuse me, DeClerc was the one that got the foul. And
Patrick hit the floor, though.
Yeah, that was Etan kind of giving him a little nudge afterwards.
And I think they called a flagrant foul because Haywood is at the line. It's a second personal on DeClerc. And so 2 shots, the Wizards will get the ball back. It was, in fact, a flagrant. Brendan has made all 3 of his free throws.
I think this is a situation very, very often where a player has certain reputation, and Andrew DeClerc has been known for giving hard fouls. Not to say he's a dirty player, but referees will watch a player like that a little closely and probably call it a little closer.
And he's just picked up his 3rd personal, fouling Etan Thomas. You're not going to hear much out of Doc Rivers. Doc just had his wallet lightened by $7,500 the other night after comments about the officiating in the Magic's loss to Indiana, 111-98. He was ejected, in fact, with 2 minutes 25 seconds to go in that game, and said it was the worst officiated game he's ever seen, and singled out Violet Palmer. Said she missed some calls. Nesby lost it off his hand out of bounds, and the Wizards turn it over.
Buechler may have gotten away with a little bit of a hack there. That forced Tyrone Nesby to lose control of that ball.
Judd Buechler is in the game. He has the ball around Hubert Davis. Now kicks it out to Patrick Ewing for the long jumper. Patrick still has a little gas left in the tank, doesn't he? In his 17th year, averaging 6.5 points, 4.5 rebounds a game. 39 years old, an 11-time All-Star.
Good play. That time they ran the pick, got the ball in the middle and sent both players in the same direction.
Hudson all the way, and it looked like somebody might have touched it.
I think that was Brendan Haywood got a piece of it.
Hubert Davis for Lou, and they'll set it up. Well, Lou, nice move, now goes inside for Haywood's jumper. That's off the mark. And tipped away from Thomas by Buechler. Off the leg of Don Reed. There's so many DC connections in this game, and many of them for Orlando. Monty Williams went to Potomac High School. Don Reed and Patrick Ewing both played at Georgetown. Of course, Grant Hill, who's not here, played at South Lakes High in Reston, Virginia. His dad came by to say hi before the game, Calvin Hill. 4 seconds, Nesby knocked away by Buechler. And the Wizards turn it over.
Well, that was an excellent play from Buechler.
That hurt as the Wizards trying to slice into this lead. Hudson for Ewing. Patrick drives on Haywood and misses. Thomas is there.
Was Patrick leaning in on Haywood or what?
Magic 31-30. Lou, Thomas for the open jumper, got it.
Well, right now, the last few possessions, Tyronn Lue has created some problems for the Magic defense. He's been able to penetrate and get the assist.
And Etan Thomas, 2 away from his career high. He's got 7 points. Nice job by Davis. Etan 3 of 4 from the field, 7 points off the bench. And the Wizards have cut it to 7 once again at 36-29 with a timeout in Orlando. Well, here's what all the hubbub was about last Tuesday at the Conseco Fieldhouse. Doc Rivers complaining that he wasn't getting the calls, and you can see there he might have a case here with a push off on Darrell Armstrong. So Doc excoriating the officials, Mike Callahan, and was ejected with 2:25 to go in the game. Subsequently fined $7,500 by the league after comments he made about the game in which Orlando lost 111-98. And then they asked him again what he thought about the game coming up against Boston, which they subsequently lost. And Doc said, "I still don't agree with those calls. Not worried about any more controversy or fines."
Yeah, I think we've all been there. game situation where you just feel like you do lose it. And you don't really care about the consequences. Not a good position to be in, but sometimes you can't help yourself.
McGrady makes the first. Our pal Grant Hill, who went to South Lakes High in Reston, Virginia, had left ankle surgery in Baltimore on December 19th. He's out for the season. Played 4 years at Duke, helped then win back-to-back NCAA titles in '91 and '92. And as I said, Calvin coming by just before the game to say hi. Calvin Hill, his dad, his mom Janet. So free throws by McGrady, and the Wizards with 8 seconds to shoot. Lou with a pretty move, spins and misses. Haywood battling for the rebound, and it's taken by Garrity. And Don Reed draws the foul, the former Wizard.
Everybody running the floor. That means defensively you've got to get back. Don Reed sneaking in on that right side. Brendan was hustling back, but he was going out to meet Garrity, who was on the wing.
And Don makes the first, a former Largo High School star in the metropolitan area. Played 2 years ago with Detroit till the Wizards signed him as a free agent in March. Played 17 games in Washington after 4 seasons in Detroit, and now he's here in Orlando. Hubert Davis off a screen. Thomas. Wizards a little jumbled inside. Short jumper, no good.
Not much you can do with that kind of shot. Tracy McGrady pulling up from long distance.
19 points for McGrady. 6 of 8 shooting. Lou works free and hits that one. Got a pretty jumper, doesn't he, Phil?
Yeah, he does, and when he's really set and under control, he goes up very smoothly.
Hudson fadeaway, followed easily by Reed. Wizards, if you're wondering, Richard Hamilton on the bench right now with 2 personal fouls. And hasn't seen a lot of action here in the second quarter. Now Haywood bangs. Davis off the screen. Hubert goes inside, lays it off underneath. Score the goal by Haywood. He'll go to the line.
Well, that was a tough play from Hubert Davis right there, because he had to change direction a couple of times in the crown. Watch him come around here, change over there, get Don Reed to commit himself, and drops it off to Brendan Haywood. Boy, that's a nice play from Hubert.
Called it on Monty Williams, his second. And now Brendan Haywood to the line, where Brendan is 2 for 2 from the line. I could have sworn he made 3
No, he made both
throws.
of them. Oh.
I thought he had 3 earlier, but
no, he made the 2.
Yeah, but didn't he score, make a 3-point play?
No, it was a 2. No, just 2-point.
Williams baseline. Monty, nice pass inside for Reed, who missed it, and Popeye's there. Hamilton's back in the lineup now for Washington. Richard, nice pass to Popeye, who was a little off balance, and followed in by Haywood, and another Orlando player is down and hurt. This time it's Garrity, who really took a shot from Jones. Looks like he might have just taken a finger in his eye. Popeye was a little, had his momentum going. He couldn't stop.
Yeah, I thought maybe his elbow may have come down on his face.
McGrady, and he is just unconscious right now. 21 for McGrady, 7 of 9 from the field. Again, his season high 47 against the Clippers earlier this year. Lou cuts inside, gives it to Popeye. Hamilton baseline, takes the jumper and misses. Haywood is there, nice rebound. Alexander for Lou, swing it to Hamilton.
Good job, good ball movement. All that made possible from the offensive rebound, brought down by Brendan Haywood.
11 points in the half for Rip Hamilton, 5 of 9 from the field. Wizards continue to hang around, down by 9. McGrady on Alexander, fade away, and finally missed one. Up ahead to a streaking Hamilton in the lane. Stops, pops, and gets the bounce. 13 points for Rip Hamilton, and the lead down to 7.
I'll tell you, that possession, Washington really advanced that ball down quickly, didn't it?
They want to run. Hamilton and Alexander both saying, let's go for it. Garrity off the screen. Boy, these guys have some of the best outside shooters in the NBA.
Yep.
You look at him and Miller and McGrady and Armstrong, pure jump shooters. Popeye had it knocked away and barely kept it in the front court. Jones short jumper, no good. Rebound, Reed. McGrady lays it up lefty, no good. Tipped off of Popeye and to Orlando. 4:22 to go here in the first half. The Magic now with a 9-point lead and the ball when we come back. Force 3 3-pointers. Tracy McGrady, the NBA's Eastern Conference Player of the Month for February. And he averaged 26 points a game, almost 9 rebounds, with over 6 assists, and 2.4 steals in 10 games in the month of February. T-Mac has scored 20-plus points in 44 games this year, 30-plus 13 times, and 40 or more 4 times, including, as I mentioned, 47, which was his season high. And he's having a big game here tonight as well. 21 points for Tracy McGrady. Monty Williams lost it. It goes off of Haywood's hands.
He was over there to give help, but couldn't bring that ball in, and the ball goes back to Orlando with 14 seconds on the shot clock. Those are some important possessions when you get a chance to get them without them even taking a shot.
Armstrong for Grant, and Horace misses. Leitner's there for the rebound. Lou pushing it up. 5 rebounds for Christian Leitner. Michael Jordan continues to rehab the knee. Had surgery on the 27th. Lou's jumper is good.
Shot. He saw Horace Grant coming over there. He just lofted that shot up very quickly before Grant could really close in on him.
MJ has missed 7 games. Wizards have a 2-5 record without him. Nice move by Alexander. Great body control, but he couldn't get the layup. Haywood is there. Wizards can cut it to 5 or 4 with a 3. Leitner looking inside for Haywood. Now Courtney's jumper, and doesn't quite have the touch so far tonight, as he did against this Magic team on Sunday when he scored 32 points, a season high. McGrady against Alexander. Now they switch Lou's on him. Now Teron leaves it. They go to the corner for Armstrong, and he carries a 3-pointer.
There are those assists we talk about as being key for this team. You get 2 players following another one, especially somebody like McGrady. You find the open man and give someone like Armstrong an open look.
Doug Collins wants time. The Magic have gone back up by 10 with 2:35 to play in the half. Well, the Wizards trail the Magic by 10 after cutting it to 7 and a chance to slice even further into the lead, but could not convert on the possession. Washington, though, with the ball. 2:35 to go in the half. Whitney, Hamilton, Leitner, Haywood, and Alexander for the team in blue. Haywood against Grant. Finds Leitner, who takes the jumper and misses. 4 rebounds for Tracy McGrady. McGrady with 21 points in the game. near steal by Haywood, who left his man momentarily. Now T-Mac draws a foul on Alexander.
Well, Courtney's working real hard, first of all, to try and keep the ball out of Tracy's hands. That's tough to do. And then trying to guard him very tightly because the guy's been making his shots. McGrady right now 7 for 12 from the field.
And Tracy goes back to the free throw line.
He's been struggling there, though.
4 of 7 tonight. 9th pick overall in the '97 draft by Toronto. Played 3 years with the Raptors. Traded to the Magic a couple of years ago for a future first-round pick. And how good of a deal was that? Are you kidding me?
Yep. But I mean, at that point, Toronto realized they probably weren't going to be able to sign him and knew that they wanted to get something. But I think everybody in the league knew this guy was going to be something very special.
Now in his 5th year, we talk about how some of these high school players take a while to develop. He's developed into one of the best.
Is he 22?
Yeah, he'll be 23 in May. Offensive fouls on Tyrone Nesby. It's number 1 on Nesby. Doug Collins with some words for Danny Crawford, the veteran official. 1:43 to go. Monty Williams inside, lost the ball on the ground. Gets tied up. And Wizards bench screaming for 3 seconds, but instead a 20-second timeout taken by Orlando. Here's another look.
Get a little bit of a push off there from Monty Williams, but then he loses his footing, goes down, and he is in that key for a very long time, extremely close to the 3-second. I don't know who called the timeout, though.
I think he did. But at any rate, they get the time. Magic last year 43 and 39 on the year. They made the playoffs for the 6th time in 8 years. They lost in the first round of Milwaukee 3-1. Have not had a losing record since the 91-92 season. And of course, Doc Rivers has done just such a tremendous job here. 2 years ago, Coach of the Year, 5th rookie coach ever to win the award, 1st coach in NBA history to earn the honor without leading his team to the playoff that year, and the 3rd coach to get it with his squad finishing with a 500 record or below.
Well, just a 2 that time for McGrady, but again, he's really feeling his shot outside. He's just setting his man up, giving some head fakes, and at 6'8", it's tough to get up there and challenge anyway.
And the Magic have matched their largest lead of 14. Whitney forced to take the baseline jumper, no good. Haywood tips it to Nesby, who goes inside and gets fouled. It's on McGrady. That's his first personal.
Well, that's why he had no problem giving that foul up. Good hustle from Brendan, but there you see him giving the foul just to make sure Nesby does not make that shot. Now Nesby goes to the line.
An 80% free throw shooter, 36 of 45 on the season. Tyrone's in his 2nd year with Washington, coming from the Clippers in the trade for Cherokee Parks and former Maryland star Obinna Ekezie in November. And Ty Nesby makes 1 of 2. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier. Halftime will go back to Comcast for highlights of the day. All the ACC action. Maryland victorious in that. Armstrong cross court for Horace Grant, who takes the jumper and misses. Leitner is there. 6 rebounds for Christian Leitner. Nesby the other way, cut off by McGrady. Whitney leaves it off for Leitner's jumper. Good.
That was a nice 2-man game. Both players being unselfish that time and working with each other.
6 points for Christian Leitner, who got the start tonight. The 29th start of the season for Christian. And Nesby, nice job, knocks it out of bounds. 11-point Magic lead. Wizards have won 2 of 3 against Orlando this year. McGrady again, unbelievable. Three-pointer for McGrady gives him 28 points in the half. And Doug Collins takes time. McGrady matching his season high for a first half of basketball, or any half this season, 28 points.
In fact, that 28 points, Steve, is the high for a halftime against the Wizards in the first half, I should say. Allen Iverson had that at 27 points back on November 28th.
T-Mac had 28 in the first half against Atlanta on December 7th. And the franchise high for Orlando in a half is 34 by Shaquille O'Neal. And now Doc Rivers will get Judd Buechler back into the lineup for Horace Grant.
Each team making those subs to try and get the matchups that they feel comfortable with.
14 seconds in the half. The Wizards would like to get one. They trail by 14. This is the largest lead of the game for Orlando. Lou, nice move, plays it inside. Great pass to Leitner. How about that play?
And he made that decision as he was in the air. He could have taken the shot, but saw the opening to drop the ball off to Christian Leitner. Watch this play again. He gets Garrity off his feet, drops a nice lob over to Leitner.
But it's Tracy McGrady, 9 of 14 and 4 of 5 from three-point range. 28 points for McGrady, and at the half, the Magic are in control, 59-47. Wizards will try to come back in the third quarter. We send you back to Bethesda now, and George Johnson.
All right.
Wednesday, 10:30 Eastern Time on the WB and CN8 in Baltimore. Tracy McGrady all but dominating the first half of play for this Orlando team with 28 points. And McGrady shooting well from outside as well. 4 of 5 from three-point range. 6 of 9 from the free throw line. He's got 4 rebounds, a couple of assists, and a couple of steals. Wizards led by Richard Hamilton, who picked up a couple of personal fouls and had to sit, but despite that, still played more minutes than any Wizard. 15 in the half, went 6 of 10.
And you notice 3 non-starters in there, Haywood, Thomas, and Lou. In fact, Lou leads both teams with assists. He has 6 assists, including that last one to end the first half.
Ton Thomas with 7 points, just 2 points away from his career high of 9, which he had earlier this year against Atlanta. But the Wizards need to try to do something to not stop McGrady. You can't do that, but not let him be the guy that kills you, in the sense that you let anybody else on their team score as well, you're in trouble.
Well, this is the time right now, beginning the second half, where they have to bring that level of intensity up. They have to bring that strong at this point. And, you know, if they're running some picks, they have to step out strong on him, try and give him no room to make his plays. Good job there.
Exactly what you talked about, trying to do it defensively. Courtney goes all the way and draws the foul.
And Courtney has yet to score. He was missed all 4 of his field goal attempts. He made a couple of nice moves. In fact, one, that layup that he missed in the first half, I thought might kind of get him going. But that rimmed around and fell out for him.
When these two teams played on Sunday, a Wizards 107-102 overtime victory, they held the Magic to about 44% shooting from the field, but Washington shooting 50% in that game. Alexander had a season-high 32. Whitney had 20. Leitner had a nice game with 12 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds. First one good from Courtney Alexander. Courtney getting the start again tonight. He has yet to make a field goal. This is his first point of the game from the free throw line. Courtney with his 7th start this season in Washington. And 2 for 2. Magic by 11. Monty Williams drives. What a move. He took Hamilton all the way down court, spun away and scored.
Now, Courtney Alexander was in a position to help, but again, you're so focused on Tracy McGrady that he really didn't want to leave him, and didn't.
6 points for Monty Williams, the former star at Potomac High School in Oxon Hill. Here's Hamilton. He gets bumped, no call. 6 rebounds for Horace Grant, the twin brother of our pal Harvey, former Wizard. Here's Armstrong. Darrell Armstrong, who shoots 37% from long range in his 8th year from Fayetteville State. Not drafted out of college, quite a story. Leitner inside. Now back to Christian. Great pass to Popeye.
Oh, he moved one way, made the pass behind his back in the other direction. Heads up play.
Out of the corner of his eye, he spotted Popeye underneath there all alone.
If he could just deliver that pass.
Christian had nowhere to go because he had his back to the pass and stuck up an arm, hoping just to deflect the ball, which he nearly did.
You never want to lose sight of the ball. Open up so you can see the ball and the man.
Magic have their largest lead of the game, 15 points, and now it's down to 13.
That's Courtney's first field goal there. Good shot from Courtney.
Wizards 29 and 31, trying to get to 30 wins on the year, but McGrady breaks to the hoop and scores. 30 points for Tracy McGrady, and Doug Collins wants time. Timeout by the Wizards. The Magic have opened up a 15-point lead here with 9:52 to go in the third quarter. Heck of a pass here from Christian Leitner to Popeye Jones.
Well, once he gets this lob, he realizes there's only one man in the line of defense. That's Horace Grant. If he gets it by him, Popeye has the easy 2. But at the other end, the problem is, how do you stop Tracy McGrady?
What a quick first step. Tracy McGrady, who is known to his teammates as the Big Sleep, because not unlike my broadcast partner, he can fall asleep anywhere virtually.
He's certainly not like you.
You're blessed. I wish I could do that. Just fall asleep anywhere. Wizards down by 15. Largest lead of the game. Popeye fires up a shot. Nesby tips it in.
And that's all he had time to do, was just guide that ball further towards the basket.
5 points for Tyrone Nesby with 7 rebounds in the game. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier. Wizards trying to take the series from Orlando. They've won 2 and lost 1. McGrady again. Now they double team him. He goes inside. Grant, jumper, no good. Popeye is there. 5 rebounds for Popeye Jones. Here's Nesby's jumper.
Good shot. And you can see Doug Collins after that timeout went to the stronger Nesby to guard Tracy McGrady, try and cool this guy off a little bit.
7 points, 7 rebounds for Tyrone Nesby. And a pushing foul on Alexander as he guards Monty Williams. Fans, be smart about your heart. Walk more, eat less, see a doctor, get a physical. Check out the DC Healthcare Alliance. Call for more information. 3rd personal foul on Courtney Alexander in his 2nd year from Fresno State by way of the University of Virginia. And the long rebound to Orlando with a fresh 24, and they take advantage of it. Ten points for Darrell Armstrong. 8 seconds to shoot. 4 seconds to shoot. Leitner drives, throws it up lefty, and scores. 10 points for Christian Leitner.
Leitner takes those long, slow, smooth strides.
I like that. McGrady again. Alexander way up high for the rebound. Working baseline. Tried to pass it into Popeye, and it's picked off. Armstrong will send it back out. Now Monty Williams loses it, and the Wizards fortunately get it back as Monty takes a shot in the nose. Fans here don't like it.
Well, you got to hustle and get back. And that's what they did. They covered up, and eventually you got the turnover.
Both teams with 6 turnovers, but Orlando scored 7 off of Washington's miscues. Wizards have just 2 off the Orlando turnovers. 4 seconds to shoot. Alexander for Leitner. And not going to get it off. Seven turnovers for the Wizards. 11-point lead. Doug Collins very intense, as we all know. And he's done a nice job, in fact, an amazing job in his situations with both Detroit and Chicago to turn teams around. Inside, Horace, short. Popeye is there. Up to Leitner. Leitner beats everybody down court and scores.
Good heads-up play from Whitney. First defensively, he was the one that stepped in front of Horace Grant and forced him to miss that shot. And then he gets the long assist to Christian Leitner. 6
unanswered points. The Wizards go from being 15 down to 9. And a foul on Nesby, trying to guard Garrity. Second personal on Tyrone Nesby.
Well, again, another one of those 6'8" guys. There's the last play. You see Whitney stepping in front of Horace Grant, forced him to come up short. Now he sees Leitner breaking down court, gets the long pass. Leitner puts it up with the left hand.
22nd timeout has been taken. Mentioned all the DC guys in this game. Of course, Patrick Ewing, a storied career. In his 17th year from Georgetown, Patrick was born in Kingston, Jamaica. Now needs 274 points for 25,000 in his career, which was mainly spent in New York.
Did you say how old Patrick was?
39.
Okay, and he turns 40.
You got me, Phil.
No.
I can check on that, though. Actually, Patrick will be 40 on August 5th.
I knew you would.
Well, when examining all of those players who are that old, and the foul is on Nesby, his third. John Stockton is actually the oldest player in the league. He'll be 40 on the 26th of March. Patrick 40 in August. Kevin Willis 40 in September. Elijah on.
Tracy's still struggling from the line.
Turned 39 in January, and of course MJ turned 39 February 17th. So there's a rundown for you, Phil, on all your buddies.
Hey, they're getting pretty close to me. You know that?
One free throw made, and a 10-point Orlando lead. Wizards got as close as 7 in the second quarter. Alexander blocked from behind by Monty Williams. Second block from Monty. McGrady around Nesby. Backs up, shoots. How good is he?
Guy 6'8", handling it with his left hand, a right-hander, stopping on a dime.
Turnover, Washington. Monty the other way, and Darrell Armstrong gives it right back to the Wizards. Richard Hamilton, excuse me, Phil.
Yeah, pass was a little bit behind Darrell, but he should have handled that. He knows that. I think both players wish they had executed that a little bit better.
So Tyrone Nesby forced to come out of the game now with 7 points and 7 rebounds, but 3 personal fouls. And Richard Hamilton back in. Rip leads all Wizards with 13 points. Leitner has 12. DeCantner spots a foul underneath. Charge to Monty Williams holding. Fans, due to the exponential growth in users, high demands will be placed on your web infrastructure. Helping you get ready for them is what we do best. Sun Technology is built to handle precisely this demand. The most complete, most reliable products that are nth ready. Sun Microsystems take it to the nth. Here's Hamilton off a screen and the nice pass and gets the bounce. 15 points for Rip Hamilton. And again, the lead is 10. Williams inside, and Grant misses the shot, saved by Alexander.
Well, that was a real nice pass from Monty Williams. I don't see how Horace missed that shot.
Popeye thought about the jumper. Now finds Whitney. 9 seconds to shoot. And they turn it over.
Well, he thought Leitner was going to move towards the basket. Instead, Leitner decided to fade away. What do you know?
Miss. 7 rebounds for Leitner. Hamilton inside, kicks it out to Christian, takes the jumper, missed it. Right to Hamilton. Richard inside, jump step off the glass and in. 17 for Hamilton.
Well, that was a very important offensive rebound, and then the score off of that. Washington cuts the lead to single digits.
And the Wizards within 8. Don't go away. They're lurking. 4:09 to play, third quarter. Timeout, Orlando. Orlando still at 50%. We told you what happens when they shoot 50%. They don't lose. 12-0 this season.
Right now, the important thing is to kind of stop their momentum offensively, and the numbers will take care of themselves.
Wizards out rebounding the Magic 32-24. They did the same thing to the Pistons last night, but lost that game. Armstrong off a screen. Wow, what a rebound, and taken away. Leitner took it away from McGrady.
And McGrady was sandwiched between Leitner and Courtney Alexander and almost came away with that rebound.
Wizards can get as close as they've been in some time. Hamilton inside, fading jumper, gets the roll again, and the Wizards are within 6 at 73-67. This is the closest they've been since some time in the first half. Williams backs in on Hamilton. Jump, no good. Richard the rebound. Here he comes. And taken away by Armstrong. Boy, he overplayed Hamilton perfectly.
Stepped out on the right side, and that was the direction that Hamilton was going.
Richard needed to go lefty, and boy, that was perfect defense. And Hamilton called for a holding foul on Monty Williams. That's number 3 on Rip Hamilton.
Richard Hamilton, his third 14th foul.
Boy, that was a tough turnover. The Wizards a chance to cut it to 4. Monty Williams did a nice job, and he's replaced by Troy Hudson in the lineup. Hudson lays it off. Jumper by Grant, no good. Leitner, big rebound. That's 9 for Christian. Hamilton takes the jumper, misses short. Hudson the other way. Around everybody, he's held by Haywood and fouled.
Actually, not a bad foul. They had a 3-on-1 situation coming up.
Penalty situation, and Hudson, who shoots 90%, will go to the line. In fact, he is tied for second in the NBA with Chris Whitney, and as irony would have it, they have both shot and made exactly the same amount. 122 of 135 on the season.
It's not working, Buck.
No, I'll see what I can do, though. And Horace Grant comes out, replaced by Patrick Ewing. This guy has been quite a Troy story, if you'll excuse the pun, Phil.
Excuse.
See, there you go. There's a method to my madness. Guy's had 33 double-figure games off the bench. Leitner, 12 points, 10 rebounds. That shot no good. Tough miss. Seven-point Magic lead. Hudson takes the jumper, misses. Rebound Ewing, and he's fouled by Leitner. Let's check the Toyota League leaders in the scoring category. Points per game. T-Mac, 7th in the league. Michael Jordan, 24.3. Iverson is number 1 at 31.1. So Patrick Ewing to the free throw line. The Knicks' all-time leading scorer with 23,665 points. Their all-time leading rebounder. All-time leader in steals and blocked shots. Patrick had such a great career at Georgetown, averaging over 15 points, 9 rebounds for his 4-year career. Misses the second. His best season was his sophomore year, when he averaged almost 18 points and 10 rebounds a game. Once again, the Orlando lead is 8 after the Wizards cut it to 6. Alexander with 6 to shoot. Courtney driving inside and draws the foul. He'll shoot 2. It's on Garrity. That's number 2. Here's another look.
That was a good move by Courtney. He heard the shot clock winding down. Makes an excellent move right there to get by Tracy McGrady and turn the corner towards the basket. Garrity trying to establish position, but doesn't do so.
Good strong move to the hoop, and 9 times out of 10, unless a guy does in fact establish the position, as you said, guy's going to draw a foul.
Yeah, Washington helping their cause by doing a good job on their free throws. They're 10 for 11. And Magic 12 for 19, so they have had problems from the free throw line.
Courtney gets them both. He's got 6 points in the game. He's made just 1 of 7 field goals, but he's 4 for 4 from the line with 3 rebounds and 2 assists. And again, the lead is 6. Hudson drives. Nice pass to Ewing and fouled by Haywood. Beautiful pass from Troy Hudson.
Well, absolutely. Haywood is an excellent shot blocker, and we've seen that all season. But as a shot blocker and a defender, you're going to have to learn to do some other things, too. I think he could have gotten a little bit of this passing lane, knowing that Troy was probably not going to challenge him. And even if he does challenge him at 7 feet, you're still going to be able to get that shot if he doesn't flip that pass over. Just some of the little things that you'll continue to use to develop and get better. Brendan Haywood, though, having an excellent year. Got a chance to meet his mom before the game. She's down here and certainly was pleased with all that he's accomplished so far this season.
Patrick 2 of 4 from the line. Ewing, when they started the season, October 30th against Toronto, came off the bench for the first time in his NBA career in that game. Nice pass. Hamilton blocked and draws a foul.
Well, once again, Tyronn Lue, he's been extremely effective tonight. He had 6 assists in the first half, but he was able to find the opening. He was able to utilize his speed and then find the opening. Watch him drop this pass off to Hamilton, who's running the baseline. Hamilton gets fouled. I believe that was Patrick Ewing.
It was, and Rip goes to the line looking for his 20th point of the night, which he gets. Now 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Tyrone Nesby with 3 personal fouls back in the game and replaces Christian Leitner, who's done a terrific job tonight. 6 of 10 from the floor, 12 points and 11 rebounds with 4 assists.
He gets those quiet rebounds. You don't count up all of his rebounds, it seems like, but at the end of the day, you're looking at 8, 9, 10, 11 rebounds.
Hamilton gets them both. Leitner had 9 assists and 8 rebounds, along with 12 points in the win over the Magic Sunday. McGrady works free, takes the jumper, that's short. And here comes Washington. Lue running ahead of the pack. Nice pass, Haywood has it stripped away out of bounds by Garrity.
Well, I tell you, that Darrell Armstrong, you've got to know where he's at all times. He's always came up with that big steal on Hamilton and nearly picked Tyronn Lue from behind. Look at that left-hand pass off the dribble from Lue.
Wizards have cut it to 5. Oh, bad pass. He's trying to spot Nesby baseline, but it's the 11th Washington turnover.
And once again, Darrell Armstrong had his eyes open, knew where the ball was. He was right there in position to pick it off.
McGrady drives and scores easily. That really hurt, as the Wizards could have cut it to 3. Doug Collins with Brian James, assistant coach, on the right side of your screen. 35 points for Tracy McGrady. And you see the points off the turnovers. And an offensive foul is called on Washington. It's on Richard Hamilton, and that's his 4th.
Well, I was watching things on the other side of the court. I didn't see what happened, but Richard seems a little disappointed and upset with that call.
Dick Cantner said he was using his rear end to try to gain some spacing.
He wasn't trying to gain much spacing, this pussy.
With that rear end, no.
How much spacing are you going to get?
Hudson around everybody, lays it up, partially blocked, no good. Nesby picks it out of the air. Good defense. 8 rebounds for Tyrone Nesby. And Doug Collins wants to play for 1 shot. Wizards trailing by 7. But Washington has just hung around despite a tremendous game from McGrady. Lou double team. Alexander for Nesby. Nesby, nice fake. The jumper. Got it. Big basket from Tyrone Nesby. Wizards coach is yelling no fouls, and a terrific effort by Washington. Christian Laettner having a great game. 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists. And after 3, the Wizards are back in it, trailing the Magic 78-73. Take a look at the Verizon stats. A big third quarter for Washington. They outscore the Magic 26-19 and shoot 63% for the quarter.
Yeah, but the important thing, Orlando, 7 for 19, 37% that quarter. And look at the stats. They dropped below 50%, so maybe we've got a chance. They are shooting well from three-point range, 7 for 13, but they're struggling from the free throw line. Washington only missing 1 from the line. They also have the advantage on the boards, too.
The Magic, when leading or tied after the third quarter, have a record of 27-7. Doc Rivers,
go ahead.
In his 3rd year, and he played 13 years in the league. Most of his seasons with the Hawks in Atlanta. And he averaged 15.2 points in 90-91. That was his best season of his career. Haywood inside.
Nice delivery, good timing and execution on that play. Hamilton got the assist, and I was just about to say that Doug Collins is getting some excellent play off the bench. Teron Lue, Nesby, some hustle plays there.
3-point lead. And what a shot inside by Monty Williams. Twisting, spinning shot by the former Potomac High School star. Last time that Wizards got even near this close was when it was 47-40. Tough jumper from Alexander. And again, the Wizards cut it. To 3.
That was a 2-point shot there.
And Alexander bumping with Monty and called for the foul. And Courtney walks towards the Wizards bench. He's picked up his 4th personal.
Oh, this is just some excellent play. Teron drops it into Hamilton, who's cutting off the pick by Haywood. Haywood rolls to the basket.
Back to live action. Troy Hudson takes a long jumper. Brendan Haywood is there for the rebound. Wizards can cut it to 1 or tie with a 3. Nice pass, Haywood. Finds Nesby. Nesby fouled, and he'll go to the line. It's on Patrick Ewing, his 2nd. And Horace Grant back into the lineup for Patrick.
It was one of those plays. Nice delivery from Brendan. It's one of those players as a player, I'm sure Tyrone is thinking, I could have made that shot even with the contact.
1 of 2 from the line. Nesby has 9 points and 8 rebounds off the bench. That cuts it to 2. Wizards have trailed by as many as 15 and have battled back. Quite an effort by this basketball team tonight. Yeah. Orlando trying to snap a 4-game losing streak, which includes 1 to Washington. And we have a 1-point game, 80-79. Horace wide open.
I tell you, we've seen him do many of those throughout his career.
15 years in the league from Clemson University. And that's his first 2 points of the night. Alexander, tough jumper, gets the bounce. Wizards have gotten 3 of those baskets, 2 from Hamilton and 1 from Courtney A.
Hey, they still count.
Not how, it's how many.
That's right.
10 points for Courtney Alexander. Again, Horace, this time he doesn't shoot. Hudson, nice pass and a foul. Well, you could see that play coming the whole way. Horace hits the hardwood floor very hard, holding his wrist for a moment, but he's up. 3rd personal on Brendan Haywood.
Once again, you leave that passing lane available to Hudson. He's going to pick it apart. And you've got a veteran like Horace Grant that knows how to roll to the basket.
Well, the problem was Lou could not switch off, could not fight through the pick, I should say. And that really hurt him. So Horace Grant to the free throw line. Horace was born on July 4th back in 1965. He is the elder to Harvey, by the way, in case you were wondering, Phil.
3 minutes.
9 minutes.
9 minutes.
So out came Horace, and then Harvey followed 9 minutes later, and they've had quite a career.
Well, Harvey, you missed both of them. Harvey was always a little late, you know.
They're the highest career rebounding brother tandem in the NBA. Nice pass, Haywood inside, taken away, no call.
That's a big block from Horace.
2 blocks in the game for Horace Grant. Huge block.
Yeah, that was a big play.
That would have given the Wizards the lead had Haywood been able to convert. Now Nesby fouls McGrady. 4 personals on Tyrone Nesby.
Well, that shooting percentage from the free throw line for Orlando continues to drop. Horace Grant just missed 2. They're now 13 for 23. And this is that last play. Nice delivery again from Hamilton.
Looked like he got him on the wrist to me.
It might have been a little contact, but that was certainly...
There's the foul there.
Yeah, no question about that. And I didn't see Brendan put up much of a fuss or argument about the block by Horace.
Grady makes this all-important free throw. 36 points in the game for T-Mac. 8 of 12 from the free throw line. 5 rebounds and 3 assists. He stands about 6 to 8 inches behind the line. And the lead back to 3. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier. Wizards will play Boston Sunday afternoon at 3. Lou, long jumper. Big basket, 3-pointer. And we've got a tie game at 84.
Well, he's hit some shots tonight. He's delivered some nice passes.
Second tie of the night. Lou has 9 points. And McGrady answers with a 2-pointer to give him 39 in the game. Man, he is just unbelievable. Doug Collins wants time. McGrady 13 of 21. 39 points. And a timeout with 8.5 minutes to go in regulation. The Wizards hanging in there, down by 2. All right, here's a look at the Dodge game summary.
Well, for Orlando, Tracy McGrady has put on some kind of show. 28 in the first half. He has 11 in the second. Total of 39. Three-point shooting. Washington, Tyronn Lue just hit the team's first. And on the other side, Orlando, 50%. And Courtney Alexander averaging over 26 in his last 3 games. 63% shooting. He's starting to come alive, though. He has 10 points now.
Courtney joins Hamilton, Haywood, Lue, and Nesby. 17,248, the capacity here at TD Waterhouse Center. A team that for a few moments was put up for sale, and then the owners decided not to. Lue got it! Ties the game at 86.
Boy, that was over McGrady, too. But I think you're right, though. When he pulls up for that shot, especially when he's under control, it's nice and smooth and easy.
Long jumper. How do you like that?
Boy, this guy's putting on a shooting exhibition.
41 points for McGrady, 6 shy of his season high. Matching his season high, I should say. Lue spinning. Hamilton, good look for the jumper, short. Williams the rebound. Armstrong pulls up, rims it. Nesby, nice job. 9 rebounds for Tyrone Nesby. Lue again, looking for any seam in the paint, and he pulls it out. And an offensive foul has been called on Brendan Haywood. Fans, Caps, and Wizards fans, one place to go before and after the games, just footsteps away from the MCI Center. You know it, it's The Rock on 6th Street Northwest. And a turnover. And I think that the
call down there was 3
seconds, not a foul on Brendan Haywood, made by D. Cantner. So she makes sure everybody is aware of that. Meantime, Orlando turns the ball over. And the Wizards get it back with a chance to tie or take their first lead of the night. Nice move by Lue, going all the way, lays it up off the glass and in. He had the opportunity to pass, but he knew that the defender was lagging.
He used the left hand, too. Very important in that situation.
Tied again, this time at 88. Hudson, nice move, and can't get it to go. Tipped by Grant, and a loose ball foul on Troy Hudson.
Yeah.
That's number 1 on Hudson.
That's the way you have to go after the ball, especially when it's loose like that. Courtney Alexander, seeing that ball loose, goes right after it strong. Hudson tries to strip it, but picks up a foul.
Tied at 88. Lue looking for help. Alexander. Courtney drives, fadeaway jumper. Got it! What a shot! And the Wizards have their first lead of the game. How do you like that? Are these guys pumped or what?
Don't get hurt now.
6:03 to go in regulation, and Doc Rivers wants time. Tremendous shot by Courtney Alexander, and the Wizards lead it by 2. What a game Tyronn Lue has had, especially in this 4th quarter. Lue for the entire night has missed only 1 shot. He's 6 of 7 from the field.
Yeah, he's having a flawless game. Also has 8 assists, but there's that last layup we saw using the left hand, holding on to it, and then Courtney Alexander giving Washington the lead for the first time this game on that jumper.
Another hot shooting period for the Wizards, 7 of 9 in the quarter. They're shooting 78%. Lue with 7 points in the period. Alexander with 6. Between the two of them, they've missed just 1 shot in the period. McGrady kicks it out to Hudson. Hudson guarded by Whitney. Drives on Whitney, lays it up and misses, and the rebound to Brendan Haywood. To Hamilton, and the Wizards with a 2-point lead. 7 rebounds for Brendan Haywood. 5.5 minutes to play. Wizards have battled back from 15 down. Hamilton inside, throws it off the glass, score the goal! He's fouled on the play.
Great decision on Hamilton's part, because that hesitation, watch him hesitate briefly right there. Monty thinks he's going to pull up, and then he continues to the basket, catching Monty reaching in, not getting enough. There's that hesitation I talked about. Then he decides to reach in, but doesn't get the right arm. Hamilton completes the basket and goes to the line.
4 fouls on Monty Williams. Richard Hamilton with 23 points. And he's made all 4 of his free throws, 10 of 18 from the field. And the Wizards are up 93-88. McGrady spins on Alexander, got it. 43 points in the game for Tracy McGrady. He has been virtually unstoppable. Whitney goes around Hudson, now backs it out. Judd Bushler off the Orlando bench will come in. Lou bothered by Armstrong. 5 seconds to shoot. Teran goes inside, off the glass, missed it. Bushler, or rather Miller, or Garrity, knocked the ball to Monty Williams.
And Teran wanted a foul call on that play. That was Garrity with the shot from the corner there. Was that a 3 or just a 2?
That was a 2-point field goal, and the Wizards' lead is now down to 1. 4 unanswered points for Orlando.
Going back to that last possession by Washington, Lou thought he got fouled by Armstrong.
Hamilton inside again, fade away, rims it, no good. Wizards need some rebounding help in the worst way, and they're going to the bench for Popeye Jones to get it. McGrady pulls up, missed one. Haywood is there. 8 rebounds for Brendan Haywood. Ahead, Hamilton, out of bounds. They'll give it to Orlando.
I tell you, again, that's the decision-making that you're talking about. Down in the stretch of the game, you're under 4 minutes. Every possession is important, and that's a low percentage pass. It has to be perfect, and I'm not even sure if he gets the easy basket off of that pass. He had to really run and reach for that pass.
Costly turnover for the Wizards, 14 in the game. McGrady on Alexander, drives inside, and a turnover. Whitney the other way. Alexander, baseline. Wizards swing the basketball. Hamilton underneath, ripped, turns, shoots, and can't get the roll, and Bushler boxes out Popeye. That was really close. 3:09 to play in regulation. McGrady backs up, top of the key, shoots and scores again.
Well, I tell you, he is amazing. 45 points, the highest scoring output for a Wizard opponent this year was Allen Iverson with 40.
Lou behind his back, nowhere to go. Good defense by Armstrong. Hamilton with 8 seconds to shoot. Richard, nice move. And Hamilton gets fouled while the ball's on the ground. It's on Armstrong. Tracy McGrady, 45 points in the game. The Magic with a 1-point lead. Wizards ball when we come back. McGrady is 4 points shy of matching his career high of 49. His season high is 47. He's got 45 tonight. He had his career high against the Wizards on April 13th at MCI Center in a game that Washington won, 113-110. Richard Hamilton had 30 in that game. Doug Collins up off the bench, screaming instructions. 4 seconds to shoot. Whitney's going to pull the trigger and miss it. And fought for, and Orlando has the rebound. And Doug is not happy. Foul is called on Chris Whitney, his second personal. So the Wizards had the opportunity to take the lead back, but couldn't do it. And now Brendan Haywood checks into the game for Popeye Jones.
And with that, both teams are out of fouls to give.
Here's McGrady, 45 points. Drives, kicks it out to Garrity for the jumper, no good. Big rebound for Whitney. Mike Miller left the game in the first half with a sprained knee, did not return. And Hamilton is fouled by Buechler.
Buechler, a physical player. The last possession Washington had did a good job of playing Hamilton without the ball, and Washington was never able to get the ball to Hamilton. I believe Hamilton was their first option.
And Richard will shoot 1 plus the penalty. He has not missed tonight, 4 for 4, and is 4th in the NBA in free throw shooting at 90%. So he can give the Wizards the lead by 1 with 2 free throws. Very quickly, Doug Collins brings Popeye Jones back into the game to replace Brendan Haywood. There's some strategizing by the Wizards head coach. And Rip to the line to give the Wizards the lead. They led by as many as 5 moments ago.
Remember what we said, it's all about matchups. Doug's looking for key matchups, and Orlando really going small now.
Neither team with a foul to give. Of course, Orlando over the limit. Here's McGrady. Misses. A huge miss. One of his few in the night. Wizards by 1 with 1:38 to play. Big possession. Hamilton backs up, shoots, and misses. Rip 10 of 21 from the field tonight, has 26 points. Lou on McGrady, spins, shoots, and scores. Tracy McGrady has matched his season high with 47 points and given the Magic a 1-point lead. Well, the Wizards have had numerous opportunities to regain leads, to stretch leads, but they've either turned the ball over or missed some critical jump shots.
Well, I think the last couple of possessions, they've gotten some shots, and the shots have not fallen. They've done a better job on the defensive side, though, slowing down the offense of Orlando. That last shot, you switched off and had Tyronn Lue on Tracy McGrady. And if he gets his feet set, there's not much you're going to be able to do. But, boy, I tell you, he has a tremendous line. 17 for 27. And you can see it's 6'8" when he posts up and then shoots the fadeaway. Not much you can do, and he's felt very comfortable with that outside jumper tonight. I mean, he's a good shooter, but he's really particularly been shooting it well tonight.
When the Wizards beat the Magic here in Orlando on December 21st, Tracy McGrady did not play. And in fact, Orlando put up their season low in points with 75.
Well, remember, that was a game that Richard Hamilton got hurt early on. Jordan was not having a particularly good shooting night, and some of the other players had to step up. Hubert Davis led the team in scoring with 19 points. Tyronn Lue had a big fourth quarter, had 3 three-pointers and 9 points in the fourth quarter.
Michael had 12 points in that second meeting. Jordan with 15 in the first game, and of course didn't play on Sunday. Meantime, Tyronn Lue has tied his career high with 8 assists tonight. And the Magic have a 1-point lead with 1:10 to play in regulation. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, our Comcast Sportsnet crew, producer Chris Grain, director Doug Yulaki, graphic artist Aaron Solomon, all on hand tonight in Orlando. Hamilton open for a moment. Tough place, nowhere to go. He needs some help. Waiting. Now finds Whitney. Whitney pulls up to the jumper. Missed it.
Well, they still have another possession, but right now they've got to get a stop. You know where the ball's going, right?
Whitney 0 for 5 from the field. Here's McGrady, 47 in the game. The jumper, missed it. Big rebound from Alexander, and he gets fouled by Armstrong. And that will stop the clock and send Courtney Alexander to the line.
Well, they've done a very good job in their scouting report. Darrell Armstrong is one of the best players in the league at coming from the blind side, stripping the ball. Now watch Courtney cover up. And you see Armstrong, he's getting ready to reach for the ball, but he gets hit pretty hard. But just gets way up to secure the rebound. Boy, he even fell back awkwardly on that left foot.
Courtney is 4 for 4 from the line, has 12 points tonight, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Needless to say, these are gigantic. Very cool, calm, and collected. Courtney Alexander in just his second season, and he's really getting an education and an experience this year.
The highs and the lows of the NBA.
He's learning a lot and absorbing it all. Tied at 96. Wizards missed the second shot, and with 31.9 seconds to go, we're knotted at 96.
Well, Washington's been doing so well from the free throw line, and I had to bite my tongue not to say anything because he was in the same situation in the Detroit game last night. The game tied, he made a spectacular shot, got fouled, and had a free throw to take the lead, but he missed the free throw, and once again, he wasn't able to get that free throw down to give Washington the lead.
Boy, this Wizards team has just done a terrific job tonight, fighting back from 15 down to not only stay in this game, but give themselves a chance to win, and that's all anybody has been asking for. We'd love to see them go to the playoffs. That would be a wonderful thing, but if you're looking for a difference between this year's team and last year's team, or even more drastically the year before last, it's the fact that Washington is rarely out of a game. They always manage to fight, and they've learned how to compete and to stay in games, and that's all you ask for.
Yeah, and we don't get a chance to see the full practices, but I've got to believe that very often they have some very tough practices, and you know, you go at each other to get yourself game tough. Because the other thing about it is they get such good production from players off the bench. Tyronn Lue, 13 points. Nesby's had a terrific game. I thought Baton Thomas and Brendan Haywood have made very major contributions tonight.
Nesby has 10 rebounds to go along with 11 points. 31 and 9/10 seconds. This has been a terrific game, just as last night's was against the Pistons. Wizards shooting 53% for the period. In fact, both teams 8 of 15 in this, the fourth quarter. T-Mac with a season high matching 47 points. Using as much clock as he can, and he goes one-on-one. Around a screen, guarded by Alexander. Off the glass. Got it! What a shot by McGrady! He has been unstoppable. A season-high 49 points matches his career high, which he set last year against the Wizards.
Well, he shows such patience, yet confidence on this play here. He gets picked up, they switch off, then even you see Popeye jamming him. He has to make kind of an off-balance shot. He has to jump back in towards the basket, hang a little bit, but again, that 6'8" frame gives him such an advantage. Good focus and concentration on the basket. He gives that light, soft touch, goes right through.
49 points to tie his career high. And this is a situation, not to say the Wizards can't do it and don't have go-to guys, but it's these situations where you really miss Michael Jordan on the court.
Just his, obviously his know-how and his presence out there. I wouldn't say puts fear in the opponents, but certainly there's a tremendous amount of respect that he can win the game from a number of different ways. But his teammates have had the opportunity to play with him, and I'm sure there's nothing they would love more than to show what they've developed and how they've grown.
Last night against the Pistons, tied at 92, the Wizards' final possession. Very controversial. Did Ben Wallace hit the ball while it was in the cylinder right there? Coaches argued that he did, but there was no call forthcoming from the officials. So Doug Collins has to watch his team tonight with 12 and 7/10 seconds. Jordan has won 3 games at the buzzer for the Wizards. The Knicks game, the Cavaliers game, and at Phoenix, but he's not in uniform tonight. Here we go. Lou, driving, spinning, underneath, lost the ball, shoots the jumper, missed it, and that will do it. Tyronn Lue had a good look at the basket. And just his 3rd miss of the night from the field. And just like Richard Hamilton last night, who had an excellent look from about 8 feet on the baseline, couldn't make the short jumper.
Yeah, this might have been even better. He tries to drop it off to Popeye. Well, no, tough shot because he was fading away a little bit and had Hudson right there on him. But still a makeable shot, just didn't go down.
And a foul was called, and so Tracy McGrady will go to the line with a chance for a new career high. And how ironic that he set his career high against the Wizards last year, matched it tonight. And this is the free throw. 9 of 14 from the free throw line for Tracy McGrady. 18 of 29 from the field. And he's also got 10 rebounds to go along with 49 points. Doug Collins.
Well, the Wizards have a 20, so that's what they want.
0.8 of a second remain in the game, or regulation anyway.
He tries to miss this.
New career high for Tracy McGrady. He set both of his career highs against these Wizards. 49 last year, 50 tonight. That gives his team a 3-point lead with 0.8 of a second to play in regulation. What a hard-fought game this has been for the Washington Wizards, who have won 2 previous against Orlando this season, as the Magic try to snap a 4-game losing streak. Wizards are 29 and 31, and this time last year, after 60 games, had won just 13.
But once again, three-point shooting was a big part last night. Detroit 8 for 18 from three-point range. Tonight, Orlando 7 for 15. Of course, that guy right there had a big part in those three-point shots. He was 4 for 7 tonight.
The Wizards have won 16 more games this year than they did this time last year. And another amazing turnaround engineered by that man, Doug Collins. And the Wizards will have a chance, but they'll need to get it up quickly and shoot for 3. Nesby. Whitney. Missed it short, and he had a good look at a 3. Boy, what a game. Players on the floor exhausted, almost as if this game was the playoff variety.
It certainly had that type of atmosphere and the importance of it to each team. It was there. Boy, Whitney's able to pop out behind that 3. Comes up, he knows he has to get it off quickly. Catch and shoot.
Wow. good effort, just not able to hit it. Our Subway play of the day, Tracy McGrady's 50th point, a new career high, as the Magic do indeed snap their 4-game losing streak and hand the Wizards their second straight loss, as Washington falls to 29-32, but a great effort by this Wizards club, Phil.
Well, it certainly was a great effort by that guy right there, 50 points. They found it hard to stop him, but the bench came in, and this was in a game where they fell down by 15 points early on, but still fought their way back, and for the second straight night, they lose a very tough, close game.
Wizards basketball returns to Comcast Sportsnet Sunday afternoon when the Wiz travel to Boston to take on the Celts beginning at 3. And now for Phil Chenier, our entire Comcast Sportsnet crew, Steve Buckhantz, wishing you a pleasant evening from the TD Waterhouse Center in Orlando. Once again, the final score, the Magic 99, the Wizards 96. Wizards basketball, a presentation of Washington Sports and Entertainment, Comcast Sportsnet, and the NBA.